Butter my bread, butter my bread. There it is, everybody. Cheers. What do you see on the back wall? Finally, I had a moment yesterday to put the Studio sign up on the wall again. Huge, huge shout out to Rebecca for making it happen. I did not buy that sign. Rebecca, you're the best. Thank you for taking the time just to research. Like, I know these things take time to make it happen, so looking so good. I do appreciate it. Hopefully the placement is okay. I don't want to cover it up if I'm standing over here, so if I'm ever covering it up, let me know in the comments. All right, here we go. 50-mile full review. There it is on your screen. I think I did 50.2-ish, right? I think that's what I remember seeing on Strava. So 50-mile full review of the Adidas SL20.2. And yes, the question becomes, is it better than the original SL20? There it is on the shelf over there. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, the presents behind me, yes, we did an SOS yesterday, okay, at 2 p.m. yesterday, sharing our running shoes, all right? That's what the SOS stands for. And so, for those people in need that need new running shoes and cannot afford them right now, head over. Now, I cannot do everybody, of course, but I will pick at least, I've committed to at least 3 people who explain their story, upper right-hand corner on that live stream, down in the comments. Just go share. Now listen, you don't have to reveal your whole life story, but I will do my best to pick 3 people from the comments. I will pick 3 people, but I can't do everybody. Anyway, head over there if you were unable. I just want to, as we enter into 2021, make sure that we get as many shoes out the door as possible to runners out there who cannot afford new running shoes right now. Because guess what? 2020 has been a crazy year. Maybe you lost your job because of COVID. Whatever the case may be, upper right-hand corner, go into the comments, just share a little bit, and I will pick 3 people, and I'll just comment back, and I'll get your shipping information, and then I'll ship new running shoes out to you. Here we go. All right, 50-mile full review, a neutral road running shoe. Let's do the twist test. I tell you what, it's twisting, but not nearly as much as, let's say, a Skechers shoe, all right? It's actually got a little bit of form to that midsole, more than I might expect when doing the twist test. We're looking at about a 10-millimeter drop. Some reports are saying 9 millimeters, some are saying 9.5. Anyway, we'll go with that 9 to 10-millimeter drop for the SL20.2, and there is the stack height on your screen. So looking at a lower profile for that midsole foam. For the weight, there is, if I can find it, I'll put women's size 8 and men's size 9 on your screen right now. And let's just confirm, because I gotta say, I think we're looking at 7.8 in my size, 7.9 in my size, and there it is on your screen in grams. It doesn't feel like 7.9. For me, underfoot, it feels a little closer to 7 or even 6.8 or 6.9. I don't know, it feels a little lighter than, I was a little surprised that it was coming in at 7.9 ounces in my size. We're looking at a mesh upper, dual layer, I should say, mesh upper through that toe box, very breathable. I could foresee, I think I mentioned this in the first impression vlog, upper right hand corner, in case you didn't see that. If you want to see how the change in my scoring from the first impression to the full review, I could see this upper doing really well in wet conditions and in summer heat. When your feet are sweating a lot, sorry for the details, I think this upper will resist water and help the water, let's say, drain out of the shoe really, really well with that dual layer mesh upper. Okay, let's do this test. Okay, oh yeah, it's got a little bit of rigidity to it, a little bit of strength, but it's giving as well. It's not like an Asics shoe or a Mizuno shoe, or yeah, it's more, I'd say put more in the category of like a Hoka shoe for that heel counter. And it is not a gusseted tongue. A little sad in that department. I wish it was. I think that would help the tongue lay on top of the foot better. What else on the upper that I remember? You know, lacing up, I think that the eyelet chain, oh yeah, let's do the lockdown right now. Lockdown score did improve, but not by that much. The reason it improved, everybody, is the runner's knot, okay? If you don't know what the runner's knot, again, I made a vlog all about how to tie a runner's knot, upper right-hand corner for that. I dialed in my lacing. Hold on, the heater is burning my leg. Hold on, let me turn that down. I made as I was progressing through the 50-mile test, I slowly was figuring out how to do the laces so that my heel was not slipping out of the pocket, because I was feeling after the first impression run a little bit of heel slipping through that heel pocket. But slowly but surely I dialed it in and it got better for the lockdown. And overall score for that upper is kind of an average score, you know, not horrible, but just kind of average. All right, so there you go. Final score for the upper midsole ride. We're going with light strike midsole material. And I gotta say, I think Adidas, I'm not a Boost fan. If you are a Boost fan, let me know in the comments and maybe share like why you're a Boost fan for that Boost midsole material. It just doesn't quite do it for me, but I gotta say, Adidas, I think you're moving in the right direction with this light strike midsole material. It feels snappy underfoot, especially under the toe box, right where your toes are meeting the rest of your foot. Okay, so right about there, it just has a nice energy return through the foot strike. I felt it all through the 50-mile test. So overall, feeling pretty good about that ride and energy return. And what else on the midsole? Oh yeah, let's do the durometer. So it's softer. Okay, let's go there. It feels, to me, feels better than the original SL20 as far as just a little more forgiveness through the midsole. It's gonna, I think your legs are not gonna feel quite as beat up after you get done running, let's say 8 miles, 10 miles, and I'll let you know how I'll use this shoe. Anyway, I'm liking this midsole update. And onto that outsole, the bottom of the shoe, Continental rubber, classic Continental, a little bit of exposed light strike midsole through the midfoot. Man, oh man, 50 miles and it looks amazing, everybody. Really no signs of wear. I mean, boy, really solid. It's just, I think Adidas has figured out their outsole. And as far as grip goes, I would feel so confident going, 5-minute pace in a race or in a workout on slick pavement that's wet. I just would feel totally confident in this shoe, gripping the road really, really well. There's different types of tread pattern happening, which I think helps on the outsole for just getting a different type of feel and traction on pavement or concrete, or as I'm always saying, like old city centers in Europe, in South America. We don't really have them as much here in the United States, but in those city centers, there's like slick rocks sometimes. So anyway, there you go. Outsole, pretty solid there. 8 out of, I think I even ran on some snow and ice in this SL20.2 and it did just fine. On to the fit and the comfort fit. Frankly, I wish I would have gone a half size down. Not only because of the heel pocket, but as I was progressing through the 50 miles, I was wearing different thickness of socks. And so the thinner I went in my sock choice, because certain days were warmer, the toe box, I was swimming in a little bit in the toe box, all right? So personally for me, I actually wish I would have gone a half size. I went true to size and I wish I would have actually gone a half size down. So just keep that in mind. As far as comfort goes, I believe the score maybe went up a little bit because from the first impression, not because of the upper. The upper is not plush. It's not incredibly comfortable. It's not screaming comfort, but it is the midsole ride. Again, I think they really are moving in the right direction with this midsole. It just feels better underfoot compared to the original SL20. All right, positives and drawbacks. Positive is the snappy feel. All right, snappy feel. That is my #1 positive for this guy. The drawback is that overall fit and lockdown through the upper. All right, there you go. How will I use this shoe? Who is it best for? I will use this shoe for tempo days, especially, but this is the beauty, tweener alert, tweener alert. It could also be used for daily training. Whereas last year's iteration of the SL20, you definitely can use it for daily training, but personally for me, I want a little more midsole protection for the legs, especially when I'm running higher volume like I am right now, and that's what I'm getting, just a little bit more. Not a ton, but just a little bit more in the SL20.2. So Tempo Day, daily trainer, who is it best for, ground contact feel, and just a little bit on the firmer landing side for a daily trainer versus, you know, a New Balance or a Hoka or the Peg 37. It's just a little more, yeah, just a little more firm, but it also means it's a little more responsive and a little snappier through the foot strike. Now, price point, oh, Nelly, $110. Now, I'm seeing a couple different sites with it at like 120, 125, but the lowest I've seen right now is $110. That is awesome for a brand new running shoe. $110, you really just can't beat that. Other shoes that I'm putting into a similar category, not exactly the same. Shoe quick specs for the Adidas SL20.2 on your screen. And yes, my final score did go up to that 7.35 out of 10. That is what I'm talking about. Now, it's not 8. I'm always saying my 8 scores, anything over 8, I'm very excited about. So it's not even frankly close to 8, but it did go up from my first impressions. And that question of the day, who was able to find the original SL20 from Ross in the last, let's say, 6 months? Let us know. Who is a fan of the SL20 lineup and why? And who plans to pick up this guy, the SL20.2, moving forward? I think, gosh, is it my favorite running shoe out there? No, but I have a lot of hope for this lineup. I think if they can dial in that upper a little bit, that's what's really dragging the score down for this shoe for me as we move into 2021. So hopefully they can keep dialing it in. There you go. Thanks for being here. Again, SOS here in the studio yesterday, upper right-hand corner if you were unable to attend. And I will pick 3 people to receive running shoes who just need a little help right now. We all could use a little help in this world, right? That's the end of the day. That's all it is. That's all it is. We runners, we stick together, everybody. All right, everyone, we will toss it to, the first impression, I guess. SL20. First impression right here, right here. First impression of the SL20.2, I should mention. All right, everyone, seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow.